What's poppin', people? It is your friendly YouTuber, The Goof here, your favorite magical fat man, and I am looking at GODOT engine, and I have a reason for looking at it. And my main primary reason for looking at it is the fact that we're fixing to get a maker called Action Game Maker, right? Action Game Maker is basically a modified version of Godot or GODOT, however you want to say it. Okay. And one of the first things I wanted to find out is what's I noticed some things, basically. I was looking at the only two screenshots of the editor we have to go on, and I decided to investigate. So let's go to here we are, Action Gamer. Let's go here. Um all right, so here's the scene editor, the 2D scene editor for making your level and everything, right? Well, I was noticing all this and I was like, this doesn't look anything like Pixel Game Maker. So I opened up Pixel Game Maker and tried to make a comparison. There's no comparing it. I had nothing to compare it to. So then my immediate thought was, well, maybe I should look at Godot engine. Maybe that's where the comparisons are. It's not going to look anything like this because it's based, Action Game Maker is going to be based on Godot or Godot or however you want to say it. Okay, well, so I got Godot engine and I put it in and I immediately realized something. The scene editor that's going to be in Action Game Maker that we see here, same symbols and everything, are in Godot engine right here. It's the same damn symbols. All of that's there. I've been trying to mess around with Godot engine. I don't understand it. A lot of scripting is involved. I don't know scripting. I'm not a programmer. This is insane. I couldn't do this. So it is good then that we know that that's not what most of us will be dealing with. We'll be dealing with this for like objects and whatnot. This is where that's going to be involved. All right. Now, having sat here for a while messing with Action Game Maker, I can say that there's some things I hope they keep, and there's some things I want them to get rid of. Number one, you notice anything here? Anything at all? If you don't, I'll tell you what's missing. Where the hell's the tile set? How did this all get placed down here? This is a sample project that I downloaded. So where the hell is it? Okay, well, it's in the tile set right here. Here's your tile set, and here's your tile set right here. Very good. Very, very good. So everything that you're seeing here is down here. And I gotta say, I don't know how I feel about this. Granted, you can zoom in quite a bit, actually. You can zoom way in. That's one of the pluses. The plus that I'll give them this. Compared to Pixel Game Maker, I can zoom in and out really far. Really, really far. This is very, like, not everyone's going to go with this, but it's useful. Compare that to Pixel Game Maker. And you'll notice you can only go in 800%, and you can only go out 25%. That's it. And that's all you've got. But now let's go into Godot here. Up here, I'm at I've already tested it. I'm not going to show it again, but you can zoom out to like 0 point something percent. And you can zoom in. Jesus Christ, you can zoom in. You can zoom in. God. God help us. You can zoom all the way into 12,800%. And you can zoom all the way out to 0.78%. I love that. I love that. I love that about this editor. I love that about this. Oh, okay. The grid right there, I just realized, shows us where the level is. I think. I might be wrong. I don't know. It's a very weird scene editor. I don't like that this is down here, and I don't think they let you move it. Oh, that gets rid of the grid that you're seeing. Interesting. What is this? Automatically replace tiles with proxies? Okay, very interesting. Liquids. Okay, that looks weird. Um, Interesting. Decorations. Where are your decorations? This is it. This is your decorations. Oh, for the trees and the other objects. Okay. 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 This is very high resolution looking stuff. But the first thing I wanted to figure out really quickly was, what is going on here? What is all this? Well, with GODOT open, I can tell you what each of those symbols is. This is a select mode. It's the basic mode from the beginning. There's like Q. You get to these through shortcut keys. But Q, control plus drag will rotate a selected node around a pivot. Um, um, Alt plus drag will move selected node. Control plus Alt plus drag will scale selected node. V will set selected node's pivot position. Uh, Alt plus right mouse button will show a list of all nodes at position clicked, including locked. Right mouse button on its own will add a node at a position clicked. And then we have this one right here. This is move. Just move. Yeah. This one's rotate. This one right here is scale. These are show lists of selectable nodes of position clicked. So basically this is the default, and from here you can do all kinds of stuff with everything you see. Everything you see. What I don't like is, how do you know where the boundaries are? Like if you look at Pixel Game Maker, we can tell where the boundaries are. There's this red line, or no, that's the camera. Okay, yeah, there's this. You can just tell where you're allowed to put things, right? It's scaled out like this with like a lot of settings in the scenes and whatnot. So what is it that's different in here? I mean, granted, there's a lot that they might change when Action Game Maker comes out. Even though it's based on GODOT engine, they'll probably do a lot of things to make it more user friendly. This is a lot of this doesn't feel user friendly. It feels convoluted as hell, is what it feels like. Like I can't even tell what layer is what. But apparently putting tile sets has to do with layers. So it's set right here. This is how you set what layer and what goes what. At least I think that's how it works. We're selecting a layer to put the tile down right here. See, but why would it be down here and not up here somehow? I don't know. I guess it's not too bad, but look at that. But I am hoping that they make some changes because this is not super intuitive. It's not super easy. It took me a while. I sat here off camera just figuring where things were, figuring out how to adjust things. Up here for the tile set is render quality. What I think that means is each tile is 64 pixels. 64 by 64. Apparently it's very customizable. So you can go all the way down to however small of a tile set images you want and however big. I might be wrong, but I'm thinking that's what that is. Because these do look like they're like 64 by 64. So for the layers, you have all the layers here. That's a lot of layers. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 layers. That is interesting. Sorry, I haven't been doing too great lately. So that's interesting. That's that. But here's where things get iffy. And I know they're not going to have it. And I'll show you in a minute, but if you haven't used GODOT, just grab GODOT. It's free. You can get it on Steam. That's what I did. And you're able to just kind of look around and see what's what. If you want to learn what things are, you can kind of click on things. But here's where things I throw my hands up. I'm not a programmer. Thankfully, this kind of thing right here is going to be replaced with this visual script action. But this is still down here. That's the funny part. This right here is still down here. Which is basically this. It's this right here. So I think it'll help to get prepared for Action Game Maker if you mess around in GIMP. I mean, not GIMP. My brain just died on me. GODOT. If you mess around with GODOT, just mess around with GODOT and you'll learn a few things. You'll be prepared for when Action Game Maker comes out. That's kind of the point of this video. There hasn't been a lot that's been talked about. We had the first initial letter when they announced it, and there hasn't been another letter since. They've talked about a letter. The letter hasn't popped up anywhere. Don't know when it'll be. But until then, I think it helps to give a good idea of what's going on just by looking at GODOT engine at itself. But I don't understand any of this. I'm not a programmer. Look at all this. I don't get this. Oh, wait a minute. Tile sets. Apparently there's a way to do auto tiles in this. I don't know how, but apparently there is a way. Oh yeah, tile set and tile map. So we have the tile set and we have the tile map. I wonder if it uses apparently there is a way to make auto tiles, by the way. And I'm hoping that this looks very European, by the way. In fact, I'll test the game in a minute. It's not my game. It's just a sample. And you're going to see how European this is. It feels like an HD Amiga game. It feels like an Amiga game in HD. It just feels very European. It's like something that a European developer would make. Decorations, tile sets. Isn't there a way to make auto tiles? I also noticed this, which was interesting. Shader editor. You can add a shader. And I believe this is how you'll add in the ability to do like a CRT filter and whatnot. A CRT shader. And I think that's what that's about. So that's interesting. I'm going to test the game real quick and you're going to see just how European it is. It's kind of crazy. It feels very much like a European platformer. Probably is. Like you could always tell when a game was made by a European developer. But it feels like an HD Amiga game. Look at this weird stuff going on. This is clearly inspired by Amiga stuff. What does that sound? Wah, wah, wah. Where are the boundaries in the scene editor? Yeah, I don't know where this is. About for enemies. Set the left mouse button and or to shoot a weapon. Oh, okay. Interesting. One thing I will say is I love the background stuff you can do. Look at all that. That's cool. Is that the FPS at the top of the screen? No, that's like time limit or something. The middle mouse button left it. Interesting. So I thought that was worth kind of showing. There's another test project that I tried, and there was like objects that were like blowing in the wind, and I don't know how they did it, but it was kind of like waving, or it would just kind of. You ever played Ghosts and Goblins? I think it's Ghosts and Goblins or Ghouls and Ghosts in the arcade. You get to that second, I think it's the second half of the first stage, and the trees are just kind of blowing to the because the wind is blowing the tops of the trees to the left. It was like that, but slower and more breezy. And the fact that somebody could pull that off was really cool to me. Um, Action Game Maker, I'm going to be using for lower resolution stuff. The stuff that I like to make is like this, 16-bit looking, you know. I still don't know how you design the object with the animations and everything. I don't know how they're going to set all that up. Hopefully more like Pixel Game Maker, I hope. It doesn't come out until next year, but we're going to see. But here's the player object. But it's like, okay, well, how did you add the graphic? Like, where's the image information for the player? You see what I'm saying? History, node. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's a bunch of programming, I guess. And then it's like, well, how do you, this is the file system over here. So enemies, assets, graphics, sounds. So file system is where all the assets are over here. I hate how they try to push everything into one window, basically. Instead of how in Pixel Game Maker you can go between tabs, resources. This is where all the graphics and audio and everything is kept. I like that more. I don't like how GODOT has this set up. Okay, so then here's your resources, assets, graphics, sprites. Don't know how to edit the sprites for the chicken. That's what I was looking for. I don't see it. I don't see anything really. I don't see anything. Well, player. Ah, here it is, sprites player. Ah, there's where his sheet is. I can't seem to zoom in on his sheet, which is kind of annoying. This object is read only. The source was imported, so it's not editable. Change its settings in the import panel and then re-import. Okay. Okay, what? Okay, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to figure out how you do like animations and whatnot. Like we know how to do some of these things. So then how do you make animations? How do you create an animation for the player? You see what I'm saying? I hope they change some of this because this is not going to fly. It needs to be closer to Pixel Game Maker. But I'm not seeing animation like settings. So how do you do animation? I mean, there is the file system, but I don't think the file system is going to show you where the animation. No, that's no. Oh, there it is right here, animation. Select an animation player node to create and edit animations. So that's not the same thing then, is it? So there's a lot going on here, and I feel like it needs to be changed in the Action Game Maker when it comes out. So even though it's based on GODOT, I hope there's a lot of this stuff I do hope they change. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's a little headache inducing. It's a very off-putting to have to learn. But I know some people are going to be pretty willing to learn it. But that's the only reason I made this video. I didn't want to go too far into it. I didn't want to sit here and um just keep going over this like this. Can I filter it up here? So here's the player. But how do you manage editor features, editor layout, command, palette, editor settings, debug, asset lib? Like, is this how you make changes to the animations or what? No, this is still not helping me with anything. Of course, there's the shader section, 2D, parallax background. Okay. Yes, like I don't see, let's see, scene, project. Maybe it's under project settings. 2D renderer. But that's all I got. This is all I wanted to show off. All I wanted to kind of look at. Yeah, I don't see how to edit or look at animations for the players or anything. And when you right click to look at a player and do anything with them, instantiate scene here. That doesn't help me at all. Oh, that's cool. You can kind of see some things about him right here. You can kind of look at him to an extent. You can look at his walls and everything right here. But again, where's the animation settings? Where do you edit his animations? Nope. Node history, node. Yeah, I don't get this. I don't get this at all. So yeah, I hope that they make it a little easier. This is not easy, but I thought it would be worth just kind of looking at to get an idea of what's going on with Action Game Maker and what it'll probably be like. It runs really well, I know that much. It runs good. GODOT engine just runs really well right out the box, which is surprising. Actually, it's not that surprising, but it's cool. Um, Another letter should be coming out soon from the producer. I hope soon. I really want to know more what they're doing. I want to know how much is going to change from the actual GODOT editor. I hope something. There's a lot that I do actually hope changes. I don't like it. It's not easy or even fun to use. It's not fun. It's not fun. It's not easy. It's not good. Um, I feel like there's going to be some possibilities, but one thing driving me nuts is I don't know where the boundaries are of the walls and everything and the stages. I was trying to look for that, trying to see if I could adjust it or anything, and I couldn't. But anyhow, this has been the goof, and I was really looking forward to this. One thing I did do some research on is the image formats that the game uses. There's like an uncompressed, there's PNG, which is compressed lossless, the compressed lossy, which is WebP, and I hate WebP. WebP just kind of sucks. Quality loss. There's no quality loss in ping. There's a slight quality loss in WebP and a moderate loss in compressed VRAM. Ping is my favorite to go to. There's no loss in anything. There's a problem with load time and ping. And the VRAM version is really fast, but yeah. GODOT supports high dynamic range textures as HDR, EXR. These are mostly useful as high dynamic range, blah, blah, blah. I've been just sitting here racking myself with this for a while now, but I think I'm done actually. I don't want to sit here and talk about this anymore, keep doing this video. It's almost 30 minutes long. I didn't want it to be 30 minutes. I kept trying to cut it shorter and shorter, but it was worth going over and talking about. Um, I feel that whatever they're planning to do with Action Game Maker, which is basically a modified version of GODOT engine, I hope that it's easier to comprehend than this. I hope it's not as messy. This is messy. I hate this. I hate this so much. This reminds me of uh Game Maker Studio. I can't stand it either. It's just messy. It's unorganized. It's not like this. That's what I love about Pixel Game Maker. It's organized. Everything's organized. You have these tabs up here for different things, these sub tabs, and just all kinds of things. I love that. GODOT doesn't have that. Everything they try to put everything on the front. I don't like that. Like that's not intuitive or fun. It's ugh. It's blech is what it is. So yeah, I'm hoping that they make some pretty big changes to Action Game Maker, or GODOT as they create Action Game Maker. But anyhow, Anyhow, give me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Really appreciate knowing what people think. I'm not nuts about this at all. This is convoluted. And you know what's funny is I watched when Pixel Game Maker came out, um, game creation from game from scratch. I don't know. I can't remember what the channel's called. She hated Pixel Game Maker, and I'm like, why? This I hate. So we're kind of opposite ends. He seems to like GODOT engine. I hate it. This is a mess. This is ugly. I don't like it. It's unorganized. It's all over the place. They try to put it all in one spot. I don't like that. I like this. I like how this editor is. All of this is just easy to find things and whatnot. But that's it. I'm out. Didn't mean for this to be a 30-minute video. And you all have a good one. I hate this. How long this video is.